setters, or these are tracks that are quite fresh. And we were talking about it yesterday morning, but if you missed it, let's revisit fresh tracks versus not so fresh tracks, shall we? Now, the rain started about 9-ish last night, went on for I'm not sure how many hours. I fell asleep, and then it stopped. So if it rains on top of your footprints, you're going to get a track that looks like this. Look at this, Janet. Can you see how the track itself, if I do that, it changes. There's been no rain in my fingerprint. Here the track happened, and then the rain fell on top of it. So that Janet was probably moving in the rain. Now if I show you these tracks here, you can see that this is a white-tailed mongoose. You can see that it's actually lifted the substrate up, and it didn't rain again on top of that. Can you see how that substrate there was rained on? And then the animal stepped and lifted the substrate up here. Very good example. Look at those nails. Perfect nails with the 4 toes, the back pad, and then the second foot. They don't stand on their foot. They don't register, justify, we call. But can you see how clearly that has lifted the sediment underneath? And if it rained, this wouldn't be so clear inside there. It would have deteriorated quite dramatically. Okay, wonderful white-tailed mongoose track. And over here, we've got the track of an antelope. Again, it stepped in, quite muddy conditions, but you can see how it's picked up the mud. And that hasn't been rained on. If that had been rained on, this would have a similar consistency to that over there. So it stepped in, lifted. But what do we notice about this track? It's not that easy to see on this one, but if I go forward one step to over here, you'll notice that there's 2 tracks. The front foot is underneath and the back foot. Maybe it'll be easier if I show you this one. Here is the front foot, and there is the back foot. So it's a hoof on top of a hoof. So that's what we call direct register. When an animal steps, front foot steps down and the back foot steps on top. And that is the classic example of a Nyala. When we look at the size of it, that is a Nyala track right over there. It's about 4.5 to 5 centimeters, and it is half the size of my knife. A kudu would be a lot bigger, and there's a couple other things we can look at that would help you tell the difference. Okay, well, it sounds like